The Xbox One. Is this the worst console in history? Or is this the most underrated console? And most importantly, should you be collecting for this console right now? Let's have a look at some games from our collection and find out if you should. What I found fascinating about this generation is that everyone seems to think that the PlayStation 4 was so amazing to begin with and the Xbox One completely screwed everything up. But the reality is, neither of those consoles really got going until around 2015, 2016.
So neither of them had a really great start, but they knew how to pick it up later.
Exactly, and what you were seeing in the first couple of years from like 2013 and until 2015 were a lot of remasters, a lot of ported games from PS3 and Xbox 360. If you've been watching our channel, I've done several of those remastered videos already, and I'll be doing many more for that, so we're not going to go through those. We also
are going to exclude our steelbooks as well.
Yes, we took out our steelbooks as well. We want to make a separate video for that, right?
Because those are pretty special to us.
So just as a heads up, we do have 4 shelves of games today. We try to curate as much as possible for this video. So we took out most of the remastered, most of the ported. There will be some ported games from the 360 that was also released on Xbox One as part of a series because we wanted it to be complete. It might be on the longer side, but I think if you wanted a comprehensive Xbox One video of our collection, this is absolutely it. And as Skarol always says in the previous videos, we do our games alphabetically, so that's where we're going to start. So let's go. The first game is Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. This is a point-and-click adventure game. I like them. I also like collecting for Microids. It's a French publisher, so they've started making a comeback. It was a big company in the 90s, I believe, for point-and-click games. So this one's good, and it's a pretty enjoyable game too. And here we have Alekine's Gun. This is literally poor man's Hitman. So this game, I've heard, is not very good. I've tried it a little bit, but I've yet to fully play it though. But it's good to have as a physical. And here we have A Plague Tale: Innocence. And we both played this one and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is a great game. I'm glad that I played it, although it's not my typical style.
Yeah, this was on Game Pass for a while too, so it made it much easier. But of course, we had to have the physical. I like this game better than the sequel, actually. I think this is a better game. Next, we have Agents of Mayhem. This is from the same people that made Saints Row. I've never played this one. I did buy this a long time ago. And since, as we know, Volition no longer exists. They were part of the whole buyout or the takeover of that one company. And sadly, a lot of good companies went under or they were closed. But I don't think this one is as good as Saints Row. And as we've seen with Volition's last games, it's kind of turned into something different. But I might play it someday. But the little I played, I wasn't impressed with it. And the next one is one of my favorites from this generation, Alien Isolation. Fantastic horror game. And if you haven't played this one, you definitely should. I know a lot of people sort of gave up on this because it was too hard. But once you get past the difficult parts, this one is fantastic. And here we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Funny story with this one, right? Goodwill Finds. We totally lucked out on this one. And surprisingly, this is the only Spider-Man game on Xbox One. This was also released on the Xbox 360 as well. But great one to have. Different achievement list as well. So if you come across this one for a good price, definitely pick it up. And then we have Anthem. And this is a game that we actually tested out.
Yeah, and we like this one.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure because there's like the internet and obviously the Xbox Live Gold membership, which doesn't really exist anymore with Game Pass because they converted everything. But I think we did like what we played, but I don't think this lived up to people's expectations. I don't know if they were expecting the next Destiny or
Well, when you've got BioWare's name on it, I can see why people would have that heightened expectation. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm not sure if it's playable today, though. We played this maybe a year ago, and it was still playable, but I've read that this game might not be playable. They shut down some stuff, but I can't confirm that, though. And then moving on to Hidden Gems, we have Assassin's Creed.
No one's heard of this
No
one.
one's heard of these games, yeah. This is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Great game. A great pirate game, and also a good Assassin's Creed game. This also came out on the 360, of course, and was one of the earlier titles. I do believe this was one of the launch titles, so to speak. So, but great game, though. Definitely worth playing. And, of course, we have Assassin's Creed Unity. I really like this game. I think this game is a little bit underrated. Everyone, I know that this was a broken mess at launch, but give this one a go. I think this one is probably one of the more underrated Assassin's Creed games. Great parkour in this one, too, and fantastic graphics for at least when it came out. And then we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This is one I'm trying to get Scarroll to play because it takes place in London.
That would be cool.
And I figured you would really appreciate this one. And you can play as two twins, so you can play as the male and the female, which was kind of a big deal back then for Ubisoft. They almost refused to have female lead characters in their games, and this was, I believe, the first one you could play as a female character besides the Assassin's Creed Liberation on PS Vita.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, I definitely think you should try this one. I think it's good.
Hey, I haven't played one yet. Maybe that's the one I start with.
Yeah, and Syndicate didn't get as much attention because people hated Unity, so they kind of skipped over that one. Next one is Assassin's Creed Origins. This is what I would consider one of the best Assassin's Creed games, and this is the one I've been sort of trying to get our son to play because he likes the Egyptian setting. So, but this one's really good. This is when they kind of started going more RPG style, but really good game. Not just good Assassin's Creed game, but it's a good RPG. It's kind of my style. And the next one I would consider kind of a hidden gem. This is actually 3 games. Assassin's Creed Chronicles. So it has Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, India, and Russia. And I played these games during a time where I was a little bit fatigued by Assassin's Creed. It was the same formula, same kind of BS all over, and 100% completion, all that. And I played these, and I thought it was very refreshing. I would recommend if you're looking for more of a 2D side-scrolling stealth and action game. And it plays very similar to Mark of the Ninja, that was an exclusive on the 360. So I think China is the best one, though, and then Russia is very different from the other two. So India is good as well. But I would recommend this one, especially for a physical. It's kind of a strange one that you don't see everywhere, I feel. And the last one that was released on the Xbox One is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This was also a great Assassin's Creed game, similar to Origins. I don't feel like it was as good as Origins. It definitely had the potential with the Greek setting, Greek mythology. Still a great game, though, but you were starting then to feel that Assassin's Creed were getting to have a lot more content in it. And yeah, it's a lot to do in this game.
Baldur's Gate. This is the enhanced edition with both Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on it. I haven't played it yet on the Xbox One, but I did play this one on the PC, and it was absolutely one of my favorite RPGs. I think this was like a game changer RPG for me in my life when I played this because it's so deep and wonderful. And I'm so glad that now we have even a new Baldur's Gate that really did match the same quality of these old games and then some. So cool to have this one in our collection as a physical.
And this actual physical edition was a little bit harder to get when we were trying to find it, right? Because it kept going up in price, and it may have been in and around COVID times.
Yeah, the Xbox One version of this.
Right before, I guess.
The physical for the Xbox One was definitely rarer than the other consoles for sure. So yeah, it took us a while to find this one.
Next one here is one of the reasons I started actually moving over to the Xbox One a lot more from the 360, and that's Batman Arkham Knight. I pre-ordered this game. I bought the Season Pass early, And like I said, huge fan of the Arkham games on the 360. And this one delivered. I felt like this was an improvement over the previous ones. The only downside, I would say, they overutilized the Batmobile. I don't know if I liked climbing buildings and stuff with the Batmobile, but the driving itself was great. So overall, fantastic game. So highly recommended. It was one of the reasons I, like I said, wanted to play on the Xbox One. Next one is Battlefield 4. Again, another game that I played on the 360. This was ported to the Xbox One around the same time, and one of the earlier titles on the console. So still a pretty good Battlefield game. And here's Battlefield Hardline, also released on the 360. I have never played this one, actually. I never got around to it, but I hear they did some interesting things in the campaign. But they've shut down both multiplayer elements and also the company, which is sad because it's the same company that made Dead Space. So it's a little bit sad. And here is a Battlefield 1. This one was surprisingly good, actually. This takes place during World War I. So I definitely recommend checking this one out. The campaign and the multiplayer is actually really good. And hopefully it's still alive. You never know with these online games. So Battlefield 5, similar to Battlefield 1. This kind of had the same format. Never gotten around to it yet, though. But, you know, since it's on EA Play Game Pass, I'll probably get around to it eventually. But it looks pretty good. And we have Star Wars Battlefront. Another game that I have not gotten around to. Just bought this early on, too, you know, because they were cheap around that time. But I don't know if this is still, if people still play these games. But I know they like them on OG Xbox. And then we have the sequel, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Also haven't played this one naturally, so, but similarly to the first one, you know, it's one that I might play someday. And then we have kind of a favorite of ours, I would say. It's not the best gameplay. There's definitely flaws in the gameplay design and some glitchiness going on. But Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, I love this one. This is one of the few horror type games that I've played, and I thought it was super fun. However, the achievements, like you said, due to some of the glitchy and some of the bugs in it, some of the achievements were pretty difficult to get. I still have some left. You finished it at least.
I did, yes. It was a pretty tough completion, I would say. This is not a kid's game by any means. This is a very, very tough 100% completion.
But our son loved watching us play.
Yeah. And here we have Blair Witch. And we have a little bit of a story with this one. We're not going to take up the whole video, of course, but this is made by Bloober Team, which I've really never understood why people give Bloober Team so much crap, because I think from all the games that I've played, Layers of Fear and Observer, The Medium, yeah, I think they make good games. Yeah. So when they made the Silent Hill remake, the Silent Hill 2 remake, people are like, oh, they didn't screw it up. I was like, I don't remember them actually screwing up. And this was surprisingly good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love watching you play this game. I thought it was really cool and unique kind of gameplay. Well, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Alan Wake. But yeah, no, super cool. This was a great game.
Yeah, psychological thriller. You know, it's more of an adventure horror. It's not really survival horror, but that's kind of what they do. That's their specialty. So, but this has also become more rare, this physical release. It was a pretty late Xbox One release as well. And here we have Bleeding Edge. Absolutely despise this game. This is terrible. I don't know what Xbox did to Ninja Theory here, but and we played this together.
We did, all three of us, actually.
I mean, when they acquired Ninja Theory, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so awesome. And then they announced this. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
It's because they made them make a multiplayer game.
And then they stood on stage acting like this was the game they always wanted to make. And I was like, you have made Hellblade. It's a much better game. So, huge disappointment. This is an online-only game. And no, terrible. I don't play this game. Sorry, but I have to be honest. And here's Borderlands 3. Who wants to talk about it? We're still playing this game 3 years later, yeah. So we weren't a big fan of this game. We do like Borderlands in general, but we weren't a big fan of this. We recently, like maybe a month ago, went through and finished this story.
The story, at least, yeah.
So we don't dislike it as much anymore. However, we'll go through maybe on like New Game Plus and try it again and do some DLC.
I'm excited to do the DLC. I think it started to redeem itself towards the end, but yeah, it was a really hard one to get into.
Yeah, and I think at some point too, we want to start talking about some co-op games that we play together as well. So
yeah,
it'll be fun. Oh, and here's Call of Cthulhu. I think this is just more of an adventure horror. I don't know if you have played any previous Cthulhu games, but
no, I haven't, and I really want you to play this one because I want to see what this one's about. I've heard about it, and I mean, isn't there one on the OG Xbox as well?
there was some Cthulhu game. Was that the Bethesda? No, was that the Bethesda game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which we do want to add to our OG Xbox collection for sure.
Yeah, so I want to get that on in our OG Xbox collection, and I'd love to watch you play this one because I've always been intrigued by the Cthulhu games.
Yep, good to have the physical too. I don't see this one everywhere either. And again, more hidden gems here, of course. We got to have it though because I can't pretend like I don't play some of the mainstream games. This is Call of Duty Ghosts. Again, early Xbox One title that was also released on the 360, but this played like 1,000 times better on the Xbox One, and the graphics were so much better too. So I have played this one on both consoles, and I think this one is better than people say. And similar to this one too, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I thought this one was absolutely fine. Might not be the Black Ops or the Modern Warfare, but this was like the jetpack Call of Duty, and also not bad. I still haven't finished the entire game though, but I did do the story mode and some of the zombie stuff. And here's Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This also released on 360, but it was more a stripped down version of it. So this is the complete package. So if you go into it thinking that buying it on the 360 is going to be the same, that would be incorrect because they took out the campaign and just focused on zombies and multiplayer. But this one has everything, and I haven't played it yet though, surprisingly enough. As much as I just talked about it, I haven't played it yet. Here's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, another one I haven't played, but more jetpack Call of Duty in space. I think this is. People didn't seem to be that fond of it though. Call of Duty World War II, I think they try to go back to their roots here. Also haven't played this one, but you know, I'll get back to Call of Duty soon. It's just like, if you play series, especially the mainstream ones where they released games every year, it's tougher to keep up. And here's Call of Duty Black Ops 4. This was like the Battle Royale version of pretty much Black Ops and any Call of Duty. This one didn't have a campaign, which was kind of shocking because I primarily play Call of Duty for the campaigns, but naturally, I haven't played this because I'm not a huge fan of the online-only stuff.
How are there this many Call of Duties on one console?
Well, they pump them out every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That team is busy.
Well, they had 3 different teams at that point.
Holy
so on
cow.
the 360, it was every year or every other year, I think.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Impressive.
And this was the last, and I have my Fred Meyer sticker here, apparently.
Those don't come off ever.
They don't come off, no. So this is, what do they call that elsewhere in the country? It's the Kroger, I think.
Yeah, I think something like that.
So I bought this one pretty much after it came out, and I used like a gift card from work at the time to buy this game. And I've never opened it for various reasons, because obviously I want to play them in order.
And you want to keep the Fred Meyer sticker.
Because it's impossible to get off. If you saw our PS3 video, we had the same sticker on the Metal Gear Solid collection. Yeah. So Modern Warfare 19. I have not played this, but it's supposed to be good though. I like Modern Warfare, but obviously I need to play them in order. And this one was the last Call of Duty on Xbox One. But not the last forever. And here we have Close to the Sun. This one is a pretty good indie game. Kind of has the BioShock vibes to it. I don't know if you saw me play this one, but...
Only a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So if you want kind of the BioShock, more of a walking sim adventure with some... it has horror elements for sure, similar to BioShock. But this one was pretty good, actually. We always try to collect the indie games, of course.
In Code Vein, I don't know much about this one, but I think it was one of those Bandai Namco sales again, where we tend to pick up, any Bandai Namco Xbox games we can get our hands on for a good price. And I think this one was pretty popular. It did pretty well, across the consoles for them. But I haven't played this one.
Yeah, I think it has co-op, and we were considering it,
Yes.
but then I don't think you were sold on this one. And if you're not sold on it, I'm definitely not going to be sold on it. So, yep. And here's probably one of the best games of this generation, I would say. Control by Remedy, really good game. I think at that point, they were starting to do like a connected universe with Alan Wake, and then, of course, another exclusive we'll get to soon. But Control, you should give it a try. It's a really good third-person shooter.
I love watching you play that one. That one was like such a great experience, even just as somebody watching.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that. And then here we have a console exclusive, Crackdown 3, another one that we are considering playing co-op, but you haven't played Crackdown 1 and 2.
No.
And
But what did I play? I played one of the Crackdowns with you.
Maybe 2. Maybe you helped me with 1. I don't know. Has some co-op stuff in it. But I think Crackdown is like an average game. Like, it's not a fantastic game, but it's fun enough in co-op, I would say. So this has Terry Crews as well. So that's pretty cool. But and they promoted this one, but they delayed it so much that I feel like people forgot about it. It does have a pretty cool steelbook, though, that we don't have.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I think this was pretty cool that they re-released these games, remastered them on the newer consoles. I did play these on the PS1, and I think it's just so much fun to have it on our Xbox One now, not just a PlayStation exclusive. So I want to go back and play these and check them out and see how good the remaster was.
Yep, I don't think I've ever played any Crash Bandicoot games. And here we have Cuphead. And this is a later physical release. As you can see at the top there, it doesn't have the Xbox One as part of the case. But as we know here, this was delayed many times.
Yeah.
I think they were too busy selling toys and making TV shows to actually do more of the game. Yeah. And it has the DLC that people waited like 6 years for. But I think this came out in 2017. So it was, at the time, I think it was PC and Xbox One only. So I don't know if they later on released it for PS4, but they did on the Switch.
Yeah, I know it's on the Switch for sure.
But I didn't like this game at first because I tried to cut corners. I tried to shortcut and play on the hardest difficulty. This game does not want you to skip corners and take shortcuts.
Nope.
You have to learn the game. You have to get good at it. And I feel like I got pretty good at this game at some point.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, you did. Yep, towards the end. Yeah, playing the King Dice at the end was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. And I would recommend it, though. But I would recommend playing this first solo. And then if you want to do it in co-op, don't start this in co-op. It'll frustrate you because it's not an easy game.
It's hard to see everything that's going on the screen when you have two people shooting and you have enemies possibly shooting at you as well.
Yeah.
But we did get good at this game together, but we had to like practice on our own.
Yeah, we did do the expert stuff. We both have the 100% on the main game, but we haven't played the DLC yet because I realized after 5 years I wasn't that good at the game anymore. So now I have to like relearn and get good again.
We got to practice.
And here is the infamous Cyberpunk 2077, the most anticipated game, I think, of this generation.
Yeah.
This is the Xbox One version, of course, the one that was completely unplayable. And and they added plays on the Xbox Series X. It was the funniest thing because I really want to get the console for this,
Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's show this one too. You got me this for Christmas.
Sure did.
Which I thought was amazing because I've been wanting to get this controller for a long time. We don't have the console though, like I said. But this was a complete disaster when it was launched. But they've since fixed this up, and now supposedly it's one of the best games ever. So I am very much looking forward to playing it, though. Due to all the issues, I did not jump on this game. But we did get about like 3 steelbooks from Best Buy, I guess. They had like 4 different steelbooks, I think. So yeah, we bought a couple of copies and got some steelbooks, and but looking forward to playing it, though. And here is Dark Pictures Man of Medan. This is the only Xbox One release of this anthology. The other 3 were released on Series X, so I'm sure we'll cover those in that video. But I like this one. I like this series, and I like, we have a tradition of playing this every Halloween. And if you watched our Halloween video, you would definitely know, because we cover this in great detail. Next one is Dark Souls 3. I've never really gotten into the Dark Souls games, but of course I had to have the Dark Souls 3 on Xbox One. But I want to play them in order, so I can't really say much else about the games. Darksiders 3. I've played Darksiders 1 and 2. I'm a huge fan. Have not played this one yet. But again, same as Dark Souls. I play them in order, so I guess this one would be next. And then we have Darksiders Genesis, which is a game that we tested out, and we are considering doing this one in co-op.
Yeah,
it's like
this one was pretty fun, yeah.
It's like a top-down Darksiders game, so a little bit different. And then we have DCL, the game, Drone Champions League, and I think you can probably talk about this game.
Well, this was a great Father's Day gift that we got you from Five Below. It's like our tradition. Our son likes to get you joke gifts, so we like to go to Five Below and see what Xbox games we can find for you. And we always find awesome gems like Drone Champions League.
I mean, it might be the only place you'll find this, because I don't know where did they sell this game. And, is this a hidden gem then? Is this Drone Champions League? Because you were telling all fathers out there, we can't afford a real drone for you, so we'll buy the game for you. Because you already play video games, here's your drone game. Oh my
God, that was our message exactly.
Yeah, well, if you appreciate your dad out there, then buy them.
Go to Five Below.
Yeah, and buy Drone Champions League. And here we have Deadpool for Xbox One. This was also released on 360. I thought this game was a lot of fun. This one is really funny and over the top, and has Nolan North, of course, not Ryan Reynolds, but you should play this one if you get your hands on it. I think this one is really fun. And then we have a console exclusive, Dead Rising 3. Obviously, this is the day 1 edition. It has like a silvery, silver artwork on it. And you'll see that on one other game at least that had it. I think there were 2 or 3 games that got this. So I really like Dead Rising 3. I like these better than the older Dead Rising games. So definitely worth playing this one, especially since it's an exclusive. Bit of a surprise that they got Capcom to do another exclusive like they did on the first one. Here's Dead Rising 4. I think this was also an exclusive to Xbox One and PC, and then they later released like a compilation with DLC or something on PS4. So, but we've talked about this playing co-op potentially, but
during the holidays.
During the holidays, it'll be a tradition to play Christmas time.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yep. And then we have Destiny. Never got into Destiny. I highly doubt you did either, but I had a lot of friends who played this. But like I said, I'm not into the whole online only stuff and having to grind. And I know people love this game though, but I just was never really into Destiny. Then we have Destiny 2, same thing. I think they, as far as I know from friends, this got even worse when it came to like microtransactions and free to play and how they release their DLCs and everything, because it's I don't want to go into it too much, but you buy the base game and then you have to like re-buy the game like 3-4 times to get the latest stuff, and I just don't agree with it. But we wanted to have at least the standard ones in our collection as a reminder that they existed. And we have Destroy All Humans. I did play this one. This is a remake of an OG Xbox game. Really fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed this one, I think.
I did enjoy this one. It's really funny and good. I'm trying to think now if it was like open world. It's kind of like semi-open world game, I would say.
Yeah,
But but really fun.
And very silly sense of humor.
Yes, of course. The some of the weapons for sure. And here's Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, Day 1 edition. I love Deus Ex. I think Deus Ex Human Revolution was one of my favorite games on the 360. I have not played this yet, though. It's one of those, I'm still working my way back to like 2015, 2016. and I haven't played it yet, but this is at the very top of my list to play soon. And then we have Devil May Cry 5. Also haven't played this. I've only played the one game on the 360, DMC Devil May Cry by Ninja Theory, but I haven't played the Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3 as we covered in our PS2 video, right? So very behind, but this one looked amazing. So wanted to get this one too, of course. And then we have one of the other reasons for me moving to the Xbox One, and that is Dishonored 2. This is one of my all-time favorite series, and this game did not disappoint. I pre-ordered this one, and just like Batman Arkham Knight, it was one of the few games that really got me to move away from the 360 and actually play on the Xbox One. Because like I said at the start, 2015, 2016 is when the game started to get really good on this console. So Dishonored 2, play Dishonored 1, play Dishonored 2. This one is slightly different, but incredible game. Incredible in the sense of you getting to play your own way, whether it's stealth or full-on action bloodshed. And here we have Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. This was kind of like a bigger DLC. So you play as Billy Lurk, which is one of the side characters, one of the accomplices to Dowd, I think it was. So this is also a great little side story here, and definitely recommend playing this one too. A little bit shorter than the other games.
Divinity Original Sin. This is the enhanced edition. And I do believe I played this one. This is the one that I played because I know there's two of them, but it was a while ago. But this one has, yeah, great co-op. They have the local split screen. And I mean, what's cool to look back at these games is that it was made by Larian Studios, who now is quite famous from their Baldur's Gate and winning the whole Game Awards. I think it was like last year, right?
Yeah, one game of the year, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, super cool to, I'm glad that I was supporting them and playing their games before, they came out with Baldur's Gate. And this is a great one, kind of reminds me of like Diablo style games. And like I said, great co-op split screen. And it looks like it won 150 awards.
It's a lot of awards, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And then this is Divinity Original Sin Definitive Edition. I haven't tried this one yet, but I know we just wanted to have it in the collection. So.
Yeah, Divinity 2 then? Is that what this one is?
Yeah, this one's Divinity 2.
It's like hidden on the back there, yeah. So Divinity 2.
So this one's Divinity 2, also Larian Studios. So yeah, I mean, I should try this one out just to see what the difference is between the two games and see if I like this one just as much.
Yep.
And that was it for shelf number 1. And let's move on to shelf number 2.
First game we have here is The Division. I really like this game. I haven't gotten back to it yet, though. It's like a MMO shooter, but very enjoyable game. Just need people to play with. And here is The Division 2. Have not started this one yet, but I did buy it and open it and install it. So I wanted to be ready for when that day comes.
Don't Starve Mega Pack. This one's a great game. Definitely a family favorite, one that we've been playing for quite a while. And we did get the full completion, both of us, right? For the Don't Starve, the just original game.
I think so, yeah.
And then I'm still playing and trying to get all the achievements for Don't Starve together, but I'm going to need Rumble's help in order to beat all the bosses that they want me to.
We'll see. I mean, it looks fun. It's not my type of game, but I know you guys have met a lot of cool people online playing Don't Starve.
Yes, it's so true. It's a great community online.
Yep. Here's Doom 2016. Fantastic game. Loved it. One of the best shooters I've played in the last 5 to 10 years, I think. Really good reboot. And here is Doom Eternal. I have not played this one yet, but I'm dying to jump into this one. Wow. Surprising, yeah. As much as I like the first Doom, I've been playing Doom since the 90s, so I love that series. And here is Dragon Age Inquisition. I have started this game. I did start all 3 Dragon Age games.
Lucky you.
And I'm not a fan of Dragon Age. I think I know what it is. Maybe I don't like dragons. I don't know what it is. I'm trying that. I do like Mass Effect, but
Can't
don't
get
know.
into Dragon
But,
Age? Yeah.
however, this is the one that I like the most so far. And people that I've talked to online say, yeah, that's not the best one. So
that's funny.
that goes to show I like the stuff that most Dragon Age fans don't like.
Well, there you go.
But it wasn't too bad though. Like, but I don't in general like Dragon Age that much. And here's Duck Dynasty.
How do we have this one?
Well, I mean, this was also released on the 360, so a port to the Xbox One. It's surprisingly hard to find, at least in good condition, because it literally looks like they frisbeed this thing up in the air and shot the case when you find it normally. But yeah, it's because it is a little bit harder to find. And maybe it's because they all went to the junkyard, or I don't know. But I don't think it's a good game. But I've never watched a show. But I thought it would be fun to have this one, just because it's been, for me at least, hard to find.
Yeah.
In good condition, I should say. And oh, I tried to sneak back out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And here's Dying Light. This is essentially a better Dead Island. I did like this one, actually. It did have co-op, but I don't know if I want to convince you to play through the rest of the game with me. I have some, side missions and stuff to do to get the 100%. But it almost feels like same as the Division to convince you to play this in co-op at this point. But I would recommend checking this game out, though. Next one here, one of my favorites on the Xbox One, The Evil Within, which has this really cool, let's see if I say it right, lenticular, or is this
I think it
is
is
this
a
a 3D cover?
It is. Well, you can say both, I think.
And
So, yeah.
at PAX, I would say 2013, 2014, they had this cool little photo booth, so you could actually get the slipcover with your face on it. And I think you did, right?
I did do that.
Which we should have put that on here, but
Yeah.
since we're not showing our faces anyway, I guess that would be a little bit weird. First time showing face as the
really
main
cool
character.
feature at PAX. That was awesome.
Yeah, but a great survival horror game. I love this one. It's one of my favorites alongside Alien Isolation. You should definitely play this game. And here's Evil Within 2, also another great game. I still prefer the first Evil Within, but this is more kind of semi-open world. You do some side missions and stuff, but if you are into that type of survival horror game, a little more stealth as well, they added to this game, but definitely worth playing. And here we have Evolve. This was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, I think, at some point. They overhyped this. There's so much publicity for this game. It's going to be like Left 4 Dead 3, basically, and it didn't quite live up to it. You probably remember that too at PAX. They had huge booths and demos and everything,
Yeah.
and I was excited too, but I never played it.
Yep,
Yeah,
they were
I tried
pushing
the-
it hard.
I tried the demo, but I never played it. So it was definitely not Left 4 Dead 3. And next we have Fallout 4. I started this one. You've also played this, I think. I have not finished it yet. I got stuck on the whole building parts. What do you call that? Like crafting, I guess would be
Yeah,
the right way to
yeah.
say it. Crafting. And I didn't quite understand why they did that. You know, it's I really like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, but I've had a very hard time getting back into it. And I think I've like maybe a third into the story.
Yeah. Well,
And
my game got crashed basically.
well, because our son modded or installed
Yeah.
mods.
He
and
installed mods, which broke my save, so I had to start all over again, and I'm not looking forward to that.
And everyone's like, thanks Xbox for being so mod friendly.
Well,
right?
it is very cool, but it has its downsides.
Yeah. But I hope I can get back to it and play it again someday. Here's Fallout 76, a game that, again, we wanted to play this in co-op or online, I guess.
Yep.
And haven't gotten around to it. So we even have a Xbox One X Fallout 76 bundle,
Yep, we do.
which is just a white one. There's nothing
Yeah.
special. It's just, yeah. Okay, these are stuck together, but here's Far Cry 4. Limited edition. This one also released on Xbox 360, but obviously this is the best place to play this game. And just like Far Cry 3, you know, it followed along the same stuff, and I would still recommend playing this. Obviously from here, I think they started doing a lot of copy-paste with Far Cry. And speaking of that, here's Far Cry Primal. I did enjoy this game, but as a lot of people have pointed out, this was basically the map copy-paste of Far Cry 4, and it is an interesting take on it. I would say, I would recommend trying this out. It's a little bit different, but it does get a little bit repetitive after a while. But not a bad game. And here's Far Cry 5. I have not played this yet. I think you played this briefly.
Yeah, I tried it out.
So I have not played it. I played maybe the intro, like I do with a lot of games. I kind of test them out. But this one seems good, and people seem to like it.
Yeah, open world.
Yep. They're all open world and lots of stuff to do. And here's kind of a spin-off of Far Cry 5. It's Far Cry New Dawn. I think you play as these two sisters right here. I've not played this yet, but I know this one has a steelbook that I really want. I don't think they released it here. But I have a really cool steelbook. And this is more your stuff here.
Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. This is just, a cool physical that we got. But I think also one of the reasons we wanted this is we were able to get a really beautiful steelbook from Square Enix shop online. So we wanted to get the, regular physical version of it too. But this one was only released before on the mobile phone and the PSP. So it's a shorter Final Fantasy, and I actually do want to play this one. I'm looking forward to it. Final Fantasy X and X-2 or X2. This is the HD remaster. These ones didn't actually come out on the 360, so that's why I thought it would be fun to have it on the Xbox One. And I did play through Final Fantasy X all the way. I've actually not really played X-2 yet, so I think if I'm going to try X-2 or X2, this is where I want to play it. So Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, I did start this one way back when it came out, and it just didn't grab me. This one just felt like a hallway simulator, and I wasn't used to that. I've loved all the other Final Fantasies, but basically Final Fantasy X was kind of my not so sure about these games anymore. Final Fantasy 12 drove that point home for me, that it just didn't give me that same creativity feel and open world feel. So that means that I really didn't play Final Fantasy 15. I've heard varying reviews about this game, so it makes me want to try it just so I can get my own take on this game.
Is this the one that is kind of like the boy band?
Yeah, exactly.
Or was that a joke that I saw on
No, that is pretty much, one of the...
I just watched Conan O'Brien do Clueless Gamer on that one. And it was hilarious.
That was the thing. I mean, it has some kind of funny points about it that makes me want to try it. World of Final Fantasy, I actually played this on the PS Vita, but I think this version, the Maxima version, actually has all the DLC and whatnot. So this was a cute, chibi version of Final Fantasy. Kind of reminds me of a Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy chibi game. It was fun. It was cute. Still not quite like my style of Final Fantasy game that I love.
The next one is For Honor. This is, I think, an online only game. So it's more of a battle hack and slash game online. I think this was popular for a while and they kept supporting it, but not a game that I really got into a whole lot. I think I tried it a little bit, but just wasn't my thing. And here, of course, more exclusives. Goes without saying, Gears of War. So this was the first Gears of War that was released on the Xbox One, the Ultimate Edition here, a remake of the first one. And a lot of people say that this was kind of a warm-up project for the Coalition. So they took over after Epic and, of course, the very famous trilogy on the 360. But I haven't played this one yet. Just done a little bit here and there, and I don't know, I might try to convince you to play it in co-op. We'll see. And of course, another exclusive here, Gears of War 4. I did play this one, and the great thing here, it came with all 4 previous games from the 360. So download codes, of course, but as we know now, you can get those through Game Pass, and they're very, very easy to get anyway. But at the time, it was pretty cool. So I think Gears of War 4 was actually pretty good. It wasn't as good as the trilogy on the 360. Followed a different storyline, and it was still a pretty good game, though. And here is Gears 5. So they were audacious enough to take away of war on this one because they thought, hey, we're so cool, we're just going to call it Gears because that's what people call it. And then it got a lot of backlash. It's like, why'd you change it? Like,
Oh, really?
leave it up to me to call it Gears or Gears of War. Yeah.
Oh, funny.
So I think the next Gears they release, they're not going to make the same mistake
Hey, at least they
again.
didn't call it GAO 5.
Yeah, there you go. So, of course, another exclusive. I haven't fully played this yet. I know that this is a grind fest, like you like to call it, too. This is a grind fest. But I'm still working my way through Gears of War 4. And here's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have played this one. I haven't finished it yet. I just kind of got distracted with this one, but I wanted to give Ghost Recon a try. This one had a fantastic collector's edition and a steel book and everything. So that's the reason why I pre-ordered it. But I haven't fully played through it yet. But it seems pretty good so far. Better in co-op, of course. And here's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Again, similar to Wildlands. I haven't played this, and but it had cool collector's edition steelbook again. So Ubisoft really try to sell these games with some cool stuff. And here is Goat Simulator, the bundle. So we didn't get this one over here. This is a PAL release. And, of course, we can play it because it's region-free, so it's not a big deal. But we only got a digital release here. But this is a slightly different edition than the one that we got digitally. Because this comes with some DLC and everything. Let me see if I can turn it around. It comes with some 2 of the DLCs. But it is a separate achievement list on this one, I believe. So.
Oh, interesting.
But you guys have more of a history with Goat Simulator than I have.
That's mainly because our son started Goat Simulator with a friend on my tag, and that means that now I have to get all the achievements in Goat Simulator in order to have that one as a completion. But it's been kind of a fun one to just like chip away at.
Yeah,
so.
This is why if we have children in the house, I password protect my account.
Yes.
Because I don't want some BS games on my gamer tag, yeah. But this one will be fun. I know a lot of people like this one because it's so glitchy and everything. So, And here's Grand Theft Auto 5. Of course, a re-release from the 360. I have played the 360 version all the way through. Really fun game. It's probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto, to be honest, or at least the one I played the most. A lot of fun with friends. Re-release. I played some of the heists and everything, but I still have a lot of work to do on this Xbox One version still. And of course, they re-released it for Series X as well, so then they'll never stop releasing that game.
Nope.
Here's more exclusives, of course. This is the Halo the Master Chief Collection. And again, it's seemingly similar to Gears of War Ultimate. This was 343, so it was a new company that was remaking all these games after Bungie left. I haven't played the Master Chief Collection because I'm terrified of this achievement list. There's like 7,000 achievements, or 700 achievements, not 7,000.
my God.
But the gamer score is ridiculous. It's this is the true grind fest of the Xbox One.
Oh, my word.
But you know, it has all of the games. Let me check here real quick. I don't know if it has. It doesn't have Halo Reach on here. So all of the ones that are with Master Chief.
Well, you're not talking me into that one then.
No, I'm not even talking myself into it. Here's Halo 5 Guardians, another exclusive. I really like this game. It wasn't as good as Halo 4, I would say, in terms of story, but it's still worth playing. Really good gameplay. It's obviously different from Halo 1, 2, 3, but it is still a good game. Here's Halo Wars. I have not played Halo Wars before. There was a 360 release as well, Halo Wars 1, of course, but had to have this because it was an exclusive, but have not played Halo Wars. It's more of a strategy game, so it's not like a first-person shooter. And here is Hellblade, and this was a PlayStation 4 exclusive for the longest time, and it definitely felt like a PS4 exclusive, but we got it on Xbox eventually, and this was a good game. I really liked this one. Obviously, it deals with some pretty tough subjects and everything, but as we now know, Microsoft acquired Ninja Theory, so we also had Hellblade 2, which was also a good game. Hello Neighbor. Family favorite. We've talked about this many times. I don't know if there's much else to say about this.
No, just it's a fun game. I mean, it's glitchy and has some issues, but definitely one to play with your kids, play with your family. Like, it's fun.
Yep. Pass the controller and then try to outsmart the neighbor.
Yes.
And this is Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek. I played this one, and it's a little bit different because you play more hide and seek with the two kids. So the actual neighbor isn't that involved in this one, but it was okay. You know, like you said too, they're not like game of the year any of these, but
they're fun.
Yep. And here we have one of my favorite series, Hitman. This is Hitman Definitive Edition, and I still can't believe I haven't been able to talk about Hitman yet. Like, I haven't featured Hitman at all. I'll have to try to find a way to do it, not just for the sake of doing it, but Hitman is incredible. This was sort of a reboot from Hitman Absolution. That was the last release before this, and they did like an episodic thing here, which I didn't quite like at first, but as time went on, it was a good way for them to actually get feedback and improve on the game. So really great though, like one of the best games of this generation. And here's Hitman 2, which also includes Hitman 1. So that's the model they went with, as we'll probably see on the Xbox Series X. You had all three games in the end. Hitman 2, I feel like it was maybe even better than the first one. But it's hard to distinguish because they're all so good, like incredible games. So probably the most replayability of any game I played on this console. So good. I still play them. I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. And here's Homefront: The Revolution. I never played the first Homefront game on the 360, but this is the sequel that came out many, many years later. But haven't played it yet. It's kind of like a stealth game shooter type thing. The next one here is Injustice 2. I did play the first Injustice on the 360. I really enjoyed it. You know, it's the same people that made Mortal Kombat, and they did a great job with this. And this one I played a little bit, and they're good games, good fighting games. The Inner World: The Last Windmonk, another point-and-click game, and I try to do the point-and-click indie games. Really good. I think it's a German company that made this game. And it actually comes with the first game as well, so-called the prequel. So if you see this one, definitely worth picking up these indie games on Xbox because they didn't get that many. And here's another indie game published by GameStop, Game Trust, The Invisible Hours. I think this is supposed to be like a murder mystery type game, and it's by Tequila Works, which you may know from Deadlight. I really like that game, and they also made a couple other games. It's an interesting company because they make a lot of different types of games. They don't just go with one genre or one type of perspective. Sometimes they make like a platformer, and then they make, you know, first-person murder mystery game and stuff. So, really good company. I think they are Spanish, actually.
Here is Jurassic World Evolution. I wanted this game because it reminded me so much of the OG Xbox game Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which I absolutely loved that game on the OG Xbox, like one of my favorite titles on the OG Xbox, funny enough. And so I always was hoping that they would remake that or make another one. And so this one came out, I mean, so many years later, but it really does feel like they tried to make something similar to the Operation Genesis. So this is a really fun title. They keep adding more and more like DLC, more and more add-ons to it, but still has that core gameplay that I love.
And I think Frontier makes a lot of those sim games, right? Okay, next one here is Just Cause 3. I was a huge fan of Just Cause 2 on the 360. I did start this one, but I don't know if I like it as much as Just Cause 2. So they changed a bunch of stuff. Obviously, the graphics and everything is much better, but yeah, and it also includes Just Cause 2 here. This was the day one edition, so because it is backwards compatible. But it's not a bad game, though, but I just haven't been able to get back into it. So you really have to be in the mood for those open world games. And here is also Just Cause 4. I don't know if I pre-ordered this one, but I do like the games. I didn't like the first one as much, but I had to have Just Cause 4 as well. And here is Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth. I think this is based on a book by this author. I haven't played this yet, but it's supposed to be a good point-and-click adventure game again. So again, try to get those indie games that are a little bit unusual. And here is Killing Floor 2. The first game was like a PC exclusive, I think, and then they brought the second one to consoles. You and I tried this one, and maybe it wasn't what we were expecting it to be, but yeah, it's a first-person zombie shooter. I don't know if we were that impressed with it, but people love these games, though.
Yeah,
But
I've heard that too, but yeah, it just didn't really grab me, and there's so many zombie co-op games out there.
Exactly, and I don't think you're a big fan of first-person shooters either.
Yeah.
I think you like third-person better.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Uh-oh.
Kingdom Hearts 3, another Kingdom Hearts that I tried and I wasn't as in love with as I'm guessing the general public is, but I did complete this one. Not achievement-wise, though. I still had many achievements left over, but when I saw the rest of my achievement list, I just said, no, I'm calling it. I'm good. I finished the story. I'm happy with what I did, and I'm just not sure I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I keep trying.
Keep trying, and maybe someday.
Maybe one day.
Too many games here now. Next one here is King's Quest, the complete collection. This one had like 3 separate releases. So it had one physical, I think, on 360, and then a digital one, and then they had a physical on Xbox One. So, but again, another point-and-click adventure game. As you probably know, the King's Quest games from the older PC days, which I did play. So this one's really fun, really good, and it's voiced by the guy from Back to the Future. I can't remember, like, is it Christopher Lloyd or really great. And here was a gift from me to you guys, because he likes the supervillains, or he likes the villains.
Yeah, Lego DC supervillain. We thought this would be a good co-op game for us to play. It's kind of funny because he loved the Lego Marvel game so much, and so we thought that he would get into this one, but he didn't get as into this one. But I think also his gaming style was starting to kind of change during that time.
He was becoming PC Master Race.
This is so true. He was becoming PC Master Race and joining the Minecraft community at that point.
Yep.
So wasn't as into this one, but I started it, so now I'm gonna have to make you join me and finish it.
That's what I figured. A gift that keeps on giving. But really awesome cover, by the way. I love the green on it, not because it's Xbox, but it really stands out. The next one here is Life is Strange. This one we both played. Really enjoyed it. This is by far the best Life is Strange game. I don't think they've been able to top this one since. But great game.
It makes me excited for the latest one that came out because it's continuing that same kind of story.
Exactly. It has same main character. And here's Life is Strange Before the Storm, which we also both played this one. So they're good games to play when you're kind of just wanting a story, right? It's not much to it, just dialogue options. And but this one was good to follow the different storyline in a sense with Chloe and that one girl from the first one.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Life is Strange 2. I did not like this one as much. I wanted to, but it just something felt off about this one. I didn't like the. I don't think I liked the character. Some of the story pacing was weird, and not as good as the previous 2 there, I would say.
Yeah, I wanted to like that one, but it just didn't grab me as much as the first 2.
Yep. But this one grabbed us.
Oh yeah,
Little Nightmares again. Probably one of the best indie games of this generation, I would say. Very surprising, and it's one of those games I feel like they hyped it up, and it lived up to it.
Yeah.
Really great puzzle platformer. I would consider this a horror game. You know, it's not like a traditional horror game, but it definitely is.
Yeah, and super cool graphics too. I love the style.
Here's Lords of the Fallen. This was the original release on Xbox One. I know they've since remastered this one. For whatever reason. I don't know why they felt the need to make this big release, because I think this was a pretty average Souls-like game. I know people like it. I've never played it, so maybe that's a little bit harsh to say. But Yeah, they made it out like this was an instant classic on the Xbox One, but I think it came and went pretty quickly. And then some of you mentioned that this was an underrated gem on the Xbox One, the Mad Max game. And this was made by Avalanche Studios that made Just Cause. And this is a pretty good game, actually. Open world, of course, you know. So I have started this one. I played a little bit. But it's a big game, so I haven't been able to get through it all yet. But it is a good game. I did like this one.
I'm going to say, you played a little bit. I watched you play quite a bit of that, but I guess it's such a big game.
Well, I think I was trying to get stuff done before the servers shut down, which is so annoying on a single-player game that they shut down servers on stuff. The next one here is Mafia Definitive Edition. This is a remake from an OG Xbox game. This is one of the games I'm most looking forward to playing. I haven't gotten to it yet. It's part of the backlog. It's pretty high up there on the list, and I think it's currently on Game Pass at least. But yeah, really cool slipcover on that as well. And then we skip Mafia 2 because that didn't get a physical release, but here we have Mafia 3. It's a cool little cover on this one. I haven't played this one, but this was a departure from like the Italian Mafia. So this one takes place in Louisiana, I think. So it's a different type of mob, but it's supposed to be a good game as well. Have not gotten into it, but just like another game I talked about here, I opened it, installed it, ready to go.
And that is it for shelf number 2. Let's move on to shelf number 3.
If you made it this far, thank you so much. Consider subscribing if you've already invested this much time in our game shelf videos. We have a ton of other videos out there too, and we plan on doing a lot more as well.
Also, give us a thumbs up because that really helps us out and helps this video reach an even wider crowd.
Okay, continuing on shelf number 3. First game is made of scare. I actually don't know how to say it. Skier?
That was very European way of saying it.
I think this is a kind of a adventure horror again. Elements of survival horror, I think. It might be more of a survival horror game. I remember this being a Games with Gold. And then I actually didn't know they had a physical release of this game. But we got this on a clearance at Best Buy. And I will tell you, I have not seen this many places. So this might be rare at this point.
I do believe the price has started to go up on that one, yeah.
Yeah, but we got it for a great deal, though. But I haven't played it yet. Played a little bit of it, but it's the kind of that typical adventure horror first-person thing. And here we have Man-Eater. This one you play as a shark. And our son tried this one out, but he thought it was way too bloody. Yeah. So I was like, you got that right. I mean, this one seems fun, though. Yeah. And it's actually funny because it's the same people that made Killing Floor 2, the one we talked about earlier.
Which is also bloody.
It's probably also bloody, yeah. I haven't really played this. Again, like a lot of games, and I think it was on Game Pass. I tried it out, and yeah, it seems fun. It's like a open world shark game where you do side missions and stuff.
Jaws, basically.
Yes. That's funny. And here's Marvel's Avengers. This is kind of like an MMO, I think. It's like an open... I think it has a campaign, co-op, and everything, but this was one that I considered for us, but we haven't... I mean, we might still play this, but it's... definitely very different. It's a Square Enix release too, and Crystal Dynamics and the whole lot.
I think they had really high hopes for this one, but it didn't sell as well as Square Enix wanted.
No, they should have just made it into a single-player game or a co-op game, in my opinion. And here we have Mass Effect Andromeda. Have not played this one. I have still, to this day, only really played Mass Effect 2 all the way. I mean, we both played 1. Difficult to get into after playing the newer ones.
Going back to a Mass Effect game is very tough.
Controls are very stiff. But I know that when they did the Legendary Edition, the remake, then they changed the controls a little bit on that one. But I'm working my way through 3, but I haven't started Andromeda yet. But it's a little bit different than the other games, I think. And here's Mega Man 11. I have, since childhood, been a huge Mega Man fan. I love these games. I have not played this yet, though. Maybe I'm a little bit afraid that it's going to be very different from those old ones, which I'm sure it will be. But at least it's still Capcom. So they're going to be true to the source material, I'm sure.
Yeah, and people still like the new Mega Man games as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of the anniversary editions, right, that we probably don't even have on Xbox One. Here's Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. This is essentially a prologue to the next game that we'll bring out here. I did like this, though, but they definitely milked the amount of playthroughs you have to do here. But if you played this one, you got some bonuses and unlocks in the full game, though. But, I mean, it's good to play. You definitely should play it if you are interested in playing the next one here. Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. This is a very good game. I'm still working my way through it, but I think I'm about halfway through. Great game, though. Like, it's, like I said, play Ground Zeroes first, and then play this one. Really good. Really good game. And it's like the only Metal Gear I've really played. And here is a weird one, Metal Gear Survive. This was totally different. And I would say this was after Kojima left Konami. And then they like rushed to get this out with the same engine as the previous game. So very different. This is like an open world survival game and not reminiscent of Metal Gear, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I think it was after Kojima left, and so, yeah, different direction.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, though. People haven't said many good things. This is same as the previous two I said. This was one of the reasons I got an Xbox One X to play this. And it still wasn't powerful enough to play Metro Exodus. One of my absolute favorite games of this generation. And one of my favorite series as well. I think the Metro series were very unknown during the 360 era, I feel. This one obviously brought attention to it because they did the Redux, or the redo, to be proper French here. So they did the remakes for 2033 and Last Light. Fantastic game. This was more open world than the previous ones, but like I said, one of the reasons I fully invested time in the Xbox One X. But I would still recommend playing that one on a Series X, though, because it is a very PC, it's intended for PC, which requires a lot more performance. And here's Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't this made by the creator of the Mega Man series?
Exactly, I think it was. New company, Concept.
Yep.
So this was not... I think you had bought this one
I did,
previously,
yeah.
and then we found the physical later on.
Yeah, I mean, it was very cheap. This one didn't take off. It didn't have that popularity of Mega Man. So usually they have a lot of sales for the digital version, and also I think the physical version's still quite cheap, really.
Yeah, it's about $10, I would say, right
Yeah.
now. So it's a good one to have, but
Yeah.
maybe not as good of a game, right?
Yep.
It's a lot to live up to with Mega Man, I would
It
say.
is so true.
Okay, I will leave this one to you.
Minecraft. Well, who knows about this game? I mean, it's only one of the
Who knows
biggest
about
games.
Minecraft these days?
Yeah.
It might not be as popular anymore, but
Yeah.
during 360 and Xbox One,
It
holy
was
crap.
huge, and I believe this is like one of the best-selling games of all time. So I think that everyone pretty much knows about Minecraft, but definitely this was one that, I mean, I played it back on the 360, and then our son got super into it, and it became just part of our household for years, probably.
I mean, it's probably the best purchase that Microsoft made
Oh,
was
for
to
sure.
buy Minecraft. And,
Mojang.
they didn't keep it as an exclusive. Obviously, they had multiple releases on, as we'll see here. This is the Xbox One edition, so
Yep.
specifically Xbox One. And, yeah, they released it on, Switch and PlayStation and everywhere, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, this one, if you know achievement hunting or you do achievements, this one has the most different achievement variants on anywhere
yeah.
from Apple TV to
Yes.
Android phones and everything. It's crazy. So
Oh my gosh, yeah.
it's a very stackable game. And then the next one here is, I believe this is just Minecraft that was released later on. The Xbox One edition came first after the 360 edition, and then this is just Minecraft. So they're
Yeah.
two separate versions, but the one that people play today, God knows which one that is, but
Yeah, what version
it might be
is.
this one.
Yeah,
So.
maybe this is the more universal version. Interesting. Yeah.
It could be, but it is a totally separate version. Yeah. Yep.
It has a separate achievement.
Yeah.
Oh
Like I
my
said,
gosh.
like I mean, but the only other physical of it too on Xbox.
Now you have me
One.
curious. Which one am I currently working on? I don't even know.
You could be working on them all.
Yeah. What version?
Exactly. And then my ongoing joke of this is the real Minecraft.
That is the real Minecraft.
Minecraft story mode, the complete adventure. So this comes with all of the DLC. At some point, these were very rare and expensive, but
Yeah, I
as
remember
we've
that.
covered before, the Nintendo Switch version apparently is more expensive than this one.
I know. Yeah, that one got way up there in price.
Yep. So we've all played these though, and our son particularly really likes the Minecraft story mode games.
Yeah, he really liked those.
And here is Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. Slightly shorter, didn't have DLC. And I guess I should have mentioned that the DLC for the first one had a bunch of famous YouTubers
Yeah.
at the time that
I
were
couldn't
part of
remember
it.
which one, but
So
yeah.
I can't remember all of them either. It's like Dan TDM was in there, I think, and a couple other guys.
Captain Sparkle or something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
it was like a murder mystery thing, but...
Yeah, it was good.
The next one is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I pre-ordered this game, and I have a really cool statue of this one that collects dust like nobody's business.
Yeah, it does.
And it's black, and a lot of crevices and stuff. But I recently played this maybe a couple of years ago, and it's a weird thing. Like kind of with Kingdom Hearts, I would say Kingdom Hearts is obviously a bigger series. Mirror's Edge is kind of that for me, where I collect them, I buy a lot of stuff. I think it's a pretty average game. Like everyone hypes this and says that it's so good. I think the first one is fine. Second one is not as good as that one, which to me equals average game.
So, not your cup of tea.
No, it's not, and I want to like it. I think the mechanics are fine. I think the running, the parkour is great. But as games, no, they're pretty lackluster in story and stuff like that. So, but they're always cool. They seem cool. I want to get the collector's editions, but unfortunately, Mirror's Edge is a little bit like that for me. But they're not terrible games. They're just not like top of the line, in my opinion.
Monster Hunter World. We tried this one out, I think, just briefly, just to see.
Yeah.
I mean, here's another game series that's been going on for so long. I mean, this game is has many different versions as well on like PSPs, PS Vitas, on across different console. It is it's one that I want to get into, and I love the little characters, and I really want to get into Monster Hunter, but I just can't. I don't know. There's just something about it.
It's another Kingdom Hearts. I can hear you say it.
And now I'll just say it's
okay.
another Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, I guess so. Mirror's Edge only has 2 games, though,
I
at
guess
least.
so.
The next one here is Monstrum, similar to the Made of Scare. Scare, I don't even know how to say it. Also did like a clearance at Best Buy, and hadn't seen this very often in stores. So we picked this one up. This is also one of those first-person adventure horror that does have survival horror elements to it, but it's supposed to be pretty decent though. So I wanted to have a physical of that. Like I said, all the indie games that we can find that are remotely interesting, we want to add. This is Mortal Kombat 10. I have not played this one yet, but this is just a standard one. They released like an XL version of this one. But I like Mortal Kombat though, but I just kind of like Street Fighter. I haven't really been fully invested in those in recent years. And here's Mortal Kombat 11. Same thing here. Just wanted to buy it. They were pretty cheap, both of them. So, but not been into them lately. Moving out.
Oh man, we did this one in co-op.
We did.
And this one has some pretty hard levels in it, is what I always remember with Moving Out, is glass panels in an office. So we had to try to move couches around.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
Well, it's just like the criteria for completing some achievements, right? That are tough, like don't touch the walls with any furniture.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it's, but I would still recommend this.
I think it's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And it has a great sense of humor, too. And
Yes, it's kind of trying to be like an 80s, 90s moving company, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. I would still, it's fun to play with another person.
Yep.
I
don't
can't remember
think
if that
that
was
that
local co-op or was that online co-op?
I don't know if it had both in that one, but I just know that it wouldn't be very fun single player, that's for sure.
Yep. Okay, next one. This is an early Xbox One release, one that I quite enjoyed, Murdered Soul Suspect, also had a release on the 360. This takes place around the witch trials, or at least it takes place in Salem, Massachusetts. But I can't say much else because, it'll spoil a lot of the story and everything. But great game. You should give this a try if you haven't played this one. So I feel like it's kind of a forgotten game a lot of times.
My time at Porsche. I played this game. I played quite a bit of this game, actually. And I was working on getting all the achievements for it. I just think it was towards the end, it became very grindy for my final achievements. So I think I stopped playing it, but I think there's a lot of charm to this one. I think it has some great art style. But I don't know that I'm going to play the next one because I don't know. I wasn't in love with this one.
Is that My Time at Sandrock? Is that the new one?
Yeah, the next one is My Time at Sandrock. I mean, I should probably just try it to see if they made some improvements since this was the first one, and oftentimes that's what happens, right? In the second one, you see some improvements.
But you like those farming sims, though, right? So
I do, and that's why I put lots of hours into that one.
Yep. The next game is The Occupation. I haven't played this one. I think this is like a first-person stealth game. But again, one of those indie games that I felt like we had to get the physical for because, they always become rare, especially on Xbox, apparently. So, but I'm looking forward to playing this one. And then another exclusive, and dare we both say, probably one of the best exclusives that Xbox has ever had.
Yeah,
Ori
for
and
sure.
the Blind Forest, and this is the definitive edition.
Yep, all around beautiful game, beautiful graphics, beautiful soundtrack. I love the flow of the game. I think it was just, I love that game.
It's a great platformer, and it's still sad that that company didn't stick with Microsoft, but understandably so. They want to make games for other platforms and everything. But this is one of the few that we should have mentioned that on Minecraft as well. Minecraft was released on the Switch with achievements, and this is another rarity that this version had an achievement list on Nintendo Switch, which
I started that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I wanted to start it, but then I don't know how to play on the Switch, I guess. And here is the sequel, another exclusive, of course, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and this was probably even better than the
I was
first
going
one.
to say, it was really amazing that somehow this game is even better, or at least on the same par as the first one. They had a lot of expectations to live up to, and they nailed it.
Yep, lots of different skills that you can upgrade here and weapons and stuff. So, but we have still yet to go through like the no dying, no powers and stuff. So they have some tough achievements at the end.
Very tough achievements that I'm just like, I'm good with what I got. I don't need
Yeah, most people are, I think. It's just people who want to torture themselves, I guess, like me. So
masochist.
And here we have the Outer Worlds. I don't believe this was an exclusive because Obsidian was acquired by Microsoft later on. But very popular game. Obviously, people said that. What was this better than? There was a game they said that this was a better.
Oh yeah, there was something else out at the same time that people definitely chose this one over.
Yeah,
I thought it was a bigger game or more AAA title.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it wasn't No Man's Sky, no.
No, it wasn't
Totally
No
different
Man's
game.
Sky, but yeah.
But I haven't played this one though. But let us know in the comments, I guess, if you can remember the game that this was compared to, and people said this was a better. It wasn't Starfield because that was way later. So.
Yep.
Next one is the Outlast trilogy, and
or Trinity. Oh wait.
Yeah, Trinity. Yeah, you're right. Not trilogy, but it is sort of a trilogy. Outlast Trinity. This is one of the most messed up games I've played. This is disgusting, but it's really good though. Like if you like the survival horror games, it is very good. So it has the first Outlast, it has the DLC to Outlast 1, the Whistleblower, and then Outlast 2. So yes, I played through this. I started Outlast a long time ago, and I played through it a couple of Halloweens ago. And it's good though. A lot of people say it's just gore and shock factor, or but I still think it's if you can handle it, if you can stomach that kind of game, then sure, play it.
On a completely different note.
Yes, the sequel to Outlast now
is Overcooked Gourmet Edition, and we played this one together. I don't know. I love
first
these
game
games.
we played together.
Yeah, this is the first game that we played together, And I mean, this game starts off easy enough, I think, and definitely gets way, way harder. And we do actually have a video of us playing through the levels of this in co-op
True.
on our channel.
If people care to go back and watch those old videos,
Yeah,
I guess.
if they care
But
to
yeah.
go back and watch the old ones. But, you know, this is like definitely a beloved co-op game for us. And we got all the achievements, and not only on this console, but also on PC as well, right?
Yes, yes. It was around, no, that was for the next game.
Ah.
But for the first Overcooked, you told me that you weren't going to go for achievements, and then later on you asked me, hey, can you help me with the rest of the achievements?
Yes, I remember
So
that.
then you were hooked.
That's very true. After that, I think Zombie Army in that game, yes, then I was
Yeah.
Achievement Hunter.
Okay, then we have Overcooked 2,
Overcooked
which
2.
is a better game than the first one, I would say.
Yeah, I think they dialed it all in to this one for sure. And the DLC, some of the DLC varies. Some of the DLC for this one is quite fun, and others of it is really annoying and really tough. So
I would say in general, the game itself is pretty easy. I wouldn't say it's like super easy, or, you know, if you played the first one, you play this one, you can get through it
Yeah.
relatively fine. The DLC, that cranks it up to,
a whole other
a whole
level.
lot of level. Yeah,
Maybe that's
so-
what I was thinking even with the first Overcooked. I'm probably thinking of Overcooked 2 because the DLC in this game is tough.
Yep, it is. But it's great, though. It's the typical couples game, right? Like they say. So many YouTube couples, I guess, that show off their Overcooked skills. And also YouTube friends, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's Overwatch Origins Edition.
This is one that our son, he really wanted to play. I think he had some friends that were playing this game, and so he wanted to play this one with some friends online. They would play also in person as well together. So otherwise,
Couch co-op?
yeah, I was going to say couch co-op. I was like, I don't even know if it has couch co-op. That's why I was
Well, pass the controller around them, probably. So.
yeah, pass the controller.
But I mean, this game doesn't even exist anymore, so this is useless, because if you put this in, it's going to upgrade you to Overwatch 2, basically.
that totally ticked
Yep.
him off, by the way.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is
So
upset.
this doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I don't like. That's what I said. Like, I still stand by the fact I don't like this online-only model. That they can screw you over. This is kind of a pointless physical.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. And here we have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. And we didn't play this one. We played the 360 version of it.
Yeah, we did.
So this is pretty much online only, and we were grinding out different kills and everything. But we did complete it. The horde mode thing is kind of tough.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. And we did play this one. I hated the fact that they shut down, again, services in this one.
Yes.
We didn't get time to complete it, and they shut down this Halloween event or something stupid. So I still haven't forgiven them for it. So I refuse to play more of these Plants vs. Zombies games.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really brutal way to shut down, games that people are in the middle of, or,
Yeah, or just have seasonal events that just like, I mean, Overwatch did that too. So.
Yeah.
But again, I've had enough of talking about these online-only games. Maybe it's just a bad section of our collection here.
Because here's another one.
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. We haven't played this. This one is also same kind of
stuff.
thing. So we don't have to talk too much more. We haven't played it, so.
They're fun games if you're not going for achievements. I will say that.
Yeah, if you just play it casually, I'm sure they're fine if you don't care about them shutting down the entire game eventually, but...
Speaking of online games.
Yeah, speaking of online games, but the only reason I wanted to have this, so this is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG. So this was a launch exclusive on the Xbox One console. So I don't know if at the time it was sort of kind of competing with Fortnite, right? So I had a bunch of friends who played this. I never played this. As you probably can guess by now, it's just not my jam. But people liked it. I don't think it was the best game ever, but that's Battle Royale, and this was around the time where people started loving that game mode. And here we have Prey. This is not the same as the one on the 360. This is a totally different game. And as far as I understand, they only kept the name as an IP, not any of the story or anything like that. So this is a totally different game by Arcane. I sort of like this game. I think that a lot of people call this one very underrated, kind of a hidden gem. It's a little bit of a complicated game to play, I would say. So I still have one more playthrough to do. But in general, I thought this was an okay game. I think I expected more because it was Arcane. But I think that if I go into it with an open mind and play it again, I'm sure I'll like it more. And here's a weird one. This was exclusive to Xbox. Project Spark. I actually knew a guy who worked on this project. And he had a plaque in his office and was so proud of this. But I think this was a pretty big failure. They shut this down shortly after this was released. So it was supposed to be like a world building. You know, you build worlds and then you join and you raid it. And so I don't know what they were trying to do here. But as an exclusive, this was a pretty big failure, I think. So I never played it. Did you?
No, I never played this one at all. And
yeah. I bet you didn't even know it had a physical.
No, I didn't. But I remember it being very cheap.
yes, it was. And pretty much gave it away. Here is another console exclusive. Probably one of the most underrated console exclusives that Xbox had, I would say. It's Quantum Break. I really enjoyed this game. It has kind of a live-action TV show. Not kind of. It does have a live-action TV show in between when you're playing. So that's the story, basically. And it was a kind of a, very unique way of structuring a game. And as you can see here, it had Alan Wake as a download code. So this is, of course, a Remedy game. When Remedy was still kind of exclusively making games for Xbox. So if you have not even heard of this game or haven't played it, you should definitely play it. And then you should also play Control afterwards. Really good game. And here we have Rage 2. I was a big fan of Rage on the Xbox 360. I still haven't played this one yet, but I'm sure I will like this one too. And then another exclusive. This is Rare Replay. This one is a big collection of Rare games from anywhere from the Nintendo times, right?
N64.
Yeah, N64 and 360 and God knows what. Some Battletoads in there, Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, there's a lot on there.
So a lot of value in this one for being, obviously an exclusive. And I always found it so strange that Microsoft bought Rare.
Yeah,
it's so
purchase.
off. Yeah, but I don't know if they've been moderately successful on the console. I don't know. You feel like maybe there would have been more exclusives by now, but Rare Replay was something that I think a lot of people enjoyed, at least for nostalgia. So they also have this as a double pack with Gears of War Ultimate Edition, oddly enough.
Funny.
Yep. And here's Rayman Legends. This is probably my most favorite modern platformer, I would say. Play the heck out of this one.
Completely agree. I hadn't heard about this game until you showed it to us, and I mean, this is like a game that both. We all love this game so much. And soundtrack is great in this game. Platforming is totally dialed in. So I would say this is to me, this was the first real Mario competitor that I've ever actually played before.
Yep. A great game. And then obviously Rayman Origins on 360, backwards compatible. So definitely play that too. But Rayman Legends, we need another Rayman game is what I'm saying. And then next we have another exclusive. This is Recore. And I remember there being quite a bit of hype here around this game. But I've never played this one. I shouldn't say I never played it. Just like I've mentioned here, I tried the opening couple of levels and stuff like that. So it seems fine. I don't know what type of game it is, but you have this robot dog with you. And I think it is kind of like a platformer shooter. So, should be interesting to try this one someday. And here is Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's a shame to say that I've never played this game. I love the first Red Dead, never played Red Dead 2. I pre-ordered this game, and I have the steelbook and everything, never played it. It's tragedy.
I know, I'm just staring at you.
Yeah.
Because
so many games to look at this.
I know, but still, I mean, that's the one that you've been talking about the most.
Yes,
for several years about I should really start this one, and yes, you should.
And this came out in 2018, I think, or something. 7 years later. But hey, time goes by when you're having fun with other things, I guess. Here's another exclusive. This was more of a remastered edition. This is State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition. And I started this version, actually. I didn't play it on the 360. But from what I played, I really like this one. I think that, there's another State of Decay coming out soon, State of Decay 3. But in general, I don't think people talk too much about the State of Decay games as exclusives, really. But they are quite good.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
And here's State of Decay 2. We were considering, of course, another exclusive. We were considering playing this in co-op, and then I can't remember what made us not play it, but
it's because that it's one of those games where it's host-only achievements, I believe, and so we could only help each other out with things, but really we would have to almost play through it twice, if in a sense, to get us both the achievements. And so it was like popping in and out of each other's worlds in a sense. So rather than us building a world together. So I hope that in the next State of Decay, they have that co-op a little bit more dialed in to where we can build a world together.
Yep. We'll have to check it again, though, see if they maybe patched something or did something else. And here is a game that we would consider, surprisingly, probably to you guys watching, you probably would say Overcooked most likely, or It Takes Two. This is probably our favorite co-op game.
Yeah,
Remnant. Remnant from the Ashes is the biggest surprise. We actually started this on our alt accounts just to try it out. And I think we played like 3-4 hours, and we're like, we might as well just start this game because it was that good. So absolutely one of the best. It's like it's not a roguelite, but it's more, so third-person RPG. Some roguelike elements, I guess, in some ways, but really great game.
No, and this is like one of the best third-person shooter games I've played. So, and definitely not my gaming style at all. And that's why I wasn't sure when you asked me to like give it a shot with you. I thought I wasn't gonna like love it, but absolutely end up loving this game.
Yeah,
like,
big surprise. I think it was a big surprise to both of us, and I'm surprised that you joined me on this. And then we have yet to complete it though, but we still want to go back to it, of course. Here's Remothered Tormented Fathers. It's like the funniest name of a game, I think.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be kind of like it is a survival horror game. A lot of stealth in this one too. But it's the main character looks just like Jodie Foster from Silence of the Lambs. But I recommend giving this one a try though if you like those types of games. I had a good time with it. I have not played the second Remothered game, but I'll get to it eventually. And I'm moving on here to some Resident Evil. This is Resident Evil Revelations 2. I have played this one. I really enjoy this game. And I want to play it again on the 360 because it had a release there as well. And here's Resident Evil Origins Collection. So I wanted to get this one because the 360 and the Xbox One got releases for its Resident Evil 0 remake and Resident Evil 1. But the 360 didn't get a physical, so I wanted to get it on the Xbox One. And of course, we had to have Resident Evil 4 on every console. This is the HD remake from GameCube. So if you watched our other videos, we have mentioned this in every single video, I think.
It's become a joke of ours. We had to get Resident Evil 4 across all consoles. I mean, why not?
Yeah, and this is the version that I played. Exactly, this Xbox One version. So, and I did enjoy it, and I played it all the way through. I got to go back and play the DLC now, I think. Oh, sorry. There. Okay. Do this then. And here's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This is next on my list for sure to play. I've played them up until 7, I think. And this is supposed to be one of the best ones. It's very different. It's a first-person Resident Evil game. So interested to see how this one is, but they said that this is one of the scariest ones, yeah. But very interested in playing that one. And here's Resident Evil 2 Remake. Another one that people say is amazing, similar to something like the Silent Hill 2 remake. Very excited to play this one too. Have not played it yet though. And here is Resident Evil 3 Remake. People also say that this one is very good. They fully remade these games and totally worth playing. And then here, I think this was a timed exclusive for the Xbox One. When it first came out, I think it was the first year. So this Rise of the Tomb Raider. Also think this is one of the best games of this generation. Absolutely amazing game. And I have played Tomb Raider since they first released them. And I've loved all the Tomb Raider games. But the new ones, the reboots, are simply amazing. So definitely recommend playing it. And you played it as well. And we did the endurance mode co-op for this.
No, this one surprised me because I actually have not ever really gotten much into the Tomb Raider games, but these new ones that you introduced me to, I absolutely fell in love with them. I love these games. Yeah.
Yep. The games keep moving here. I'm having to, yeah. And then the sequel to that one's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And you played this one actually more than me, which surprised me. I figured I would start it before you, but you've actually played this one.
Yeah, no, I'm in the middle of this one, or actually I'm towards the end of this one, and I'm actually still playing it right now. This is the current game that I'm playing right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, great. I can't wait to play this. And it also has some kind of co-op in this one too. And here is my Five Below gift to you guys, because this was a very frequent Five Below game for the time. Yeah, at the time. That's Risk of Rain 2, but it also includes the first Risk of Rain.
Yeah, I mean, I know our son, he loves the first Risk of Rain. He didn't like Risk of Rain 2 as much, but he was talking about it nonstop, I remember, for a while about that game. So I think that was when you saw it at Five Below and thought, okay, sure, for under $5, we can get this game.
It's good physical to have. It has two games in there, so why not? Next one here is another launch title, exclusive, of course. That's Rise, Son of Rome. Another underrated title by Crytek. I thought this one was a great game. Incredible graphics on this one. It still holds up today, 12 years later. So obviously you play as a gladiator here, and there's a lot of replayability here too with the multiplayer. The campaign is pretty short, like maybe 6 to 8 hours or so. But there's a lot of replayability. You could play with other people and stuff like that. So I would play this with randoms and stuff. So yeah, good game. Definitely recommend playing that one. And here's another exclusive. Like we spoke of Rare. This is Sea of Thieves. Never played this one. Never really had interest. I wanted to have the physical for it, of course, but it's going to be one of those, online, they make updates and patches and everything, so...
I'm going to say this might be the first Rare game that they really finally got to cash in on, so...
Yeah, it's a very popular game, of course, like a lot of people play this, but just wasn't something I was ever interested in, same as Destiny and everything. It's just, okay, get the physical kind of as a...
Yeah. I mean, I think this one looks really cool, and I think the updates make it look really fun. I think they, are keeping it fresh for people. So I get it. I get why it's popular.
Yep.
Just not our thing.
It's good. It's good for people who like it, of course. The last one on this shelf is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Another From Software game here that I think it was very well received at the time. I haven't played it yet. I'm very behind on the From Software games. But this is one kind of like Ghost of Tsushima. Like it's kind of that similar style, I think. But of course, it's going to be like a Souls-like samurai game. But very excited to play this one. I have the Game of the Year edition or whatever they upgraded to now. So that is pretty cool.
All right. Let's move on to shelf number 4, the final shelf.
All right, the fourth and final shelf of our Xbox One collection.
We're almost there.
Yes, we are. Almost. This is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, one of my absolute favorites on the Xbox One. Fantastic game, and you should play this. Open world stealth game. It's really good. Very, very good. And here's Middle-earth: Shadow of War. I played this at PAX. I waited like 2 hours in line, and I got like a fidget spinner for playing the game. And I have yet to play this, actually. It's just one of those things you just got away from me. But I have played a little bit of it, and it's very similar to the first one. But as you may know, they have that nemesis system that they trademarked, so no other game can have that. It's kind of interesting, but they're good games though. And here's Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. This is kind of like a top-down stealth game, also with different characters that you can play as there, different skills and everything. So this one I think is one of those hidden gems on the console. So I played a little bit of it, and it is very, very good. And here is Shadow Warrior. I think this was a older game. Like this is a remake, I think.
Oh, really?
Shadow Warrior. Really I don't know if it's. I don't know what console it came out on though, but I wouldn't say Nintendo. But it could have been a Sega game. Who knows? But it's like a first-person shooter, hack and slash. So people say they're fun though. And here is Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishments. I also like these games. They're like the point and click, detective as Sherlock Holmes is, right? So I like playing these games. And here is Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter. This one's kind of become a rarity, actually, because there was a dispute with the developer and the publisher at the time, not Bandai Namco, a different one. So they had to re-release these games, but only digital. So this one's kind of a rare one to find now. But it's a good game, though.
Shovel Knight, Treasure Trove. I was excited to get this one on the Xbox because I think this game is it's on the other consoles, or at least I know it's definitely on the Switch, and that's where I first played it. And so when I saw this on the Xbox, I was excited, but also because it has a reversible cover,
Yeah,
so
it
it's
does.
one of the very few that gets a purple spine rather than a gray spine. So
Yeah, this one's really cool.
that one's one that I love having in our collection. Very difficult game. And if you can show the spine to show how different this one is, look at this purple, glorious spine.
The only spine that we have shown today.
Sims 4. I played The Sims back on the PC, and it's still a game that's like near and dear to my heart. I like The Sims games, and we did play this one. We both played this one, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Sims games are funny. I don't really play them on console anymore. I used to play SimCity and Sims on PC, but I don't know. Maybe it's just better on PC, but they're fun games.
I do agree with that. I mean, I think that I still had fun playing it on the Xbox One. However, they're better on the PC.
Yep. Here's The Sinking City. This one was pretty good. I would say that this is another one of those H.P. Lovecraft stories. And you play as an investigator, a detective, and they also re-released this for Series X, I think. So there's two different versions. But, it's worth playing through this one, I would say. Especially if you like H.P. Lovecraft.
Lime Rancher. Oh my gosh, we have such a cool collector's edition for this game that we'll have to show sometime. But
that's where the physical came from, right?
Exactly. But love this game. Our son loves this game. It's definitely like another one of those household favorites. It's just bright, colorful, super fun. And I still have some achievements I need to work on through this one, too.
He's trying to get me to play this one, and it's just like, why aren't you playing Slime Rancher? I was
Right?
like,
Why
well,
aren't
it's not
you?
really my type of game, but it does look a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just, management games for me are very, I have to be in the mood for them.
That has some shooter elements. You're sucking up and
Shooter?
shooting slime.
Well,
So.
fair enough. Touche. Here's Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, Season Pass Edition, which gave you hardly anything. I don't mind the Sniper Ghost Warrior games, though. I think they're okay. They're not as good as the next series that we'll talk about. But, I still haven't played this one. I opened it, installed, and ready to go, but still haven't played it. But I think they're okay games. They're not fantastic. And here's Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. This was kind of it wasn't a different series, but they had Contracts 1 and 2. Haven't played these either, but I'm sure when I start playing them again, I'll probably play them all. And here we have Sniper Elite 3. This was an early Xbox One title. Also was released on Xbox 360. I played both of them. I think this one is very good, actually. We never played this one in co-op. I played this with a couple of friends on each, our friend each on each console. But very enjoyable games. But this one we did play together, Sniper Elite 4. So this took place in Italy. And then the previous one, I should have said, that was in Africa. And yeah, the great co-op game as well. I think maybe our second favorite co-op game.
Yeah, this one surprised me as well as being one of my favorite like games and shooter games and co-op games that we played together. I think this is like a super fun series and made me a fan of Rebellion with Zombie Army and then Sniper Elite and Strange Brigade. I'm now a fan of Rebellion.
You just spoiled a lot of games we're about to talk about, but it's okay. It's okay. I was going to say, yeah, Rebellion is definitely one of our favorite co-op companies. Yeah. And it's weird for me every time I see Sniper Elite. Can you guess what I'm thinking about?
Hitler?
Hitler's nutsack.
I knew it.
I had to say it. It's so late in the video, it's safe to say it. Here's another gem, I would say. I don't know if it says hidden, but it sort of is. Song of the Deep. This is by Insomniac, which you probably know from Ratchet and Clank and was it Resistance they made? So primarily PlayStation games they've made, but then this was universally released. And it's kind of like a Metroidvania underwater. What are you in? Like a submarine, right?
I think you are in a little submarine.
And really good game. I really enjoyed this one. So if you want something different, that's kind of like... it reminds me of Child of Light, actually, a little bit. So
interesting. And I thought that was a GameStop only.
It might have been, actually, yeah.
But it doesn't look like it's Game Trust on there.
Yeah,
but
it says Game Trust here.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had it off camera there, but Game Trust right there.
Yeah, I remember that being a GameStop only release, physical, and so very cool.
We have a great Steelbook edition for that too. And then, of course, we have the game that we feature in every one of our shelf videos, Soul Calibur 6. And yes, this has Geralt from The Witcher. So that's the character. I don't know if this was Xbox or on PlayStation as well, if they got a different character. But I haven't played this one yet, though. But you know we have to talk about Soul Calibur every video.
Every video.
I almost forgot. I said it in a different video that I think it had a different character, and it was like The Witcher. This South Park, The Fractured But Whole game that I also pre-ordered. I haven't played it yet, but we both really like the Stick of Truth, which this one came with a digital download of Stick of Truth.
That's cool.
Yep. So that one, the fun games, the only kind of turn-based games that I will play.
All right. And here is Spyro, Reignited Trilogy.
Yep.
And so this is another one of those games like Crash Bandicoot that was exclusive to the PS1 or at least to the PlayStation consoles. But I played this on the PS1. Spyro was one of my first games that I bought for the PS1 way back in the day. And so, you know, they're good games, and I'm excited to play these remasters as well, just to see how they turned out.
I think this one just arrived in Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. That one or the Crash game, or maybe both.
Oh boy, I get to talk about one of my favorite games.
Finally.
Oh, Stardew Valley. Yeah. I mean, this is another game that we do own across many different consoles because it was just like whatever console I was currently playing at the time, I seemed to buy Stardew Valley on. But I'm now playing this on, I'm still playing this game. I think I have, it's going to sound terrible. 300 hours is what I saw on my Xbox.
Wow. And that's primarily on Xbox. You played it, right?
Yeah, because I'm actually trying to get all the achievements in Stardew Valley on the Xbox. And I saw today I have 300 hours. I'm 8 years in. It's kind of, yeah. But, you know, it's one of those games that I play on and off. And because it just, you know, I go through phases where I don't play it for a really long time and then I'll come back to it. And right now I'm in one of those times where I've come back to this game. Love this game. Yeah, one of the best farming sims out there.
Yeah, you love this game, and I think I got you this collector's edition for Christmas years ago, right? Yeah.
And it has a really cool diorama house that came with it too. So it's a really cool collector's edition. Another one that we should show in another video. Yep.
Next game is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This was around the time they were trying to really bundle this one with Xbox One S, I think it was, or maybe it was even the X. Yeah, it looks like it's Xbox One X enhanced. So kind of similar to Fallout 76. They were trying to push this one quite a bit. I still haven't played it, but I've, again, when I say I haven't played it, I may have tested out like the first opening sequence or something. So it seems fun, though. It seems like a decent game. And here is Strange Brigade, another co-op game that three of us played because we felt like there's no gore, there's no blood in this game, so it was pretty safe to play with him as well. Although obviously he's older now, but this was a really fun one. I think this one is, again, kind of went under the radar a little bit.
I totally agree. And this is one of those Rebellion games that please, please, please make a sequel, because I thought this was a ton of fun. I really loved the collectibles in this one, too.
The cats?
Yep, the cats. That was too funny. Narrator
was
was awesome in this game. And no, it was just, this was a really fun co-op game overall. So I have a lot of good memories from this one. It was quirky, too. This game was quirky.
Yes, it was very, because you had the narrator for everything. You know, narrating everything you're doing, and I thought this was a very clever game. And some people, I read that back in when this game came out, that a lot of people turned off the narrator, but I'm like, that's like half of the experience.
Oh my gosh,
so
no kidding.
Don't turn off the narrator. He's amazing.
And we have another, that one also has a cool steelbook and collector's edition.
Yeah, we'll show that in a separate video for sure. And here is the reason why I got an Xbox One. So I waited the first year because I knew there was a lot of issues and everything. So I got the Sunset Overdrive edition, which we might show in a separate video if we do hardware and stuff like that. But this is obviously an exclusive, and probably the best exclusive that was released on Xbox One. And it was unique at the time too, because not only did they get Insomniac to make this game exclusively, but the white console was also only for developers in the past. So I remember going to PAX and looking at that, knowing that they would release this, and I pre-ordered it, and it is the original Xbox One that came out, so it's the bigger one. I haven't used it in a long time though, because I think I turned it on 2 years ago and it's still updating. So yeah, it's so slow. It just can't keep up anymore. So if anyone is thinking about getting an Xbox One, if you don't have one, just get an Xbox One S or an One X, because the older one is not worth it. But this game though is amazing. It's kind of like Jet Set Radio
Future.
And you grind on power lines and you do like crazy moves. You have weapons in this one, like this guy right here. So once you get to the end of the game, this one is even more fun, and it has like a fun multiplayer mode as well. So I figured I would spend a little extra time talking about this game, because I think a lot of people had played it, but this for me was the reason to get an Xbox One. I waited. So great game. And then we have the next game here, also another exclusive. This is Super Lucky's Tale. I did play this one. This is a decent enough platformer. Like, there were some camera issues in this game, but again, it goes to show, and I know now we're in the PS5 Series X era, but this is the type of platformer that Xbox got. And then you see now the Astrobot, right? Like, that's like Xbox One's Astrobot, so it doesn't really compare to it. But it's a decent enough platformer, though. If you have 10 hours to spare, just play it. It's difficult at times, just like platformers are, 3D platformers, I should say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of notorious for the 3D platformers. They're more difficult to nail the camera and the controls down.
Yes, camera is very tough. They did re-release it though, new Super Lucky's Tale that you can play on Game Pass. That did fix the camera, and like you can actually rotate it a little bit more, but it makes it more challenging if you play the Xbox One version of this game. And then we have The Surge. This is kind of like a Souls-like mech game sort of thing. I mean, you're not in the mech, but you have kind of like a armor of some sort. But it's supposed to be pretty good. I've never played them, though, but I will hopefully someday. And the sequel, The Surge 2, same thing. Some people have said this is even better than the first one. And then one of my all-time favorite like point-and-click games from my PC days is Siberia. Sort of like a reboot. and I enjoyed this one. So if you are into that kind of stuff, Microids again here, then this one is a good one to play. And here we have Technomancer. That's I think the same developer or same publisher at least behind the Surge. So again, it's one of those Souls-like type games, a little milder, of course, than that. But you know, another one of those RPGs. And here's one for you.
Oh yeah, we got Terraria. This is the game that, yeah, both me and our son, we played a lot of Terraria way back in the day. You know, I think he was even playing Terraria before Minecraft, I want to say. I think he was able to get into Terraria first and then Minecraft. And then he and his friends all started playing Terraria again, and they started modding the crap out of it. And they all had crazy, you know, modded gear, which made it a lot of fun for them. But I wanted this particular edition with the sleeve on it because this one's just a little bit different you know, particular to the Xbox One. And I think it has like some stickers and stuff like that inside too. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yep, that's pretty cool. And we just recently upgraded to this one, right?
Yep.
We just had the standard one, and yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted
Well,
that
I mean,
version.
I think this is the same, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
So.
the same. I just wanted like the sleeve and the stickers. Yeah, I don't know. Wanted a different look to it.
Yeah, no, totally fair. And here we have Thief. Another one I think is a little bit underrated. I think people who have played Thief in the past, you know, it's a pretty revolutionary game in terms of stealth back in the day. And a lot of people didn't feel like this reboot did it justice, but I thought this was a good game. And it was also released on the 360, a very early Xbox One title. And yeah, I enjoyed this one. So if you like those stealth games, just like obviously Dishonored, it's not as good as Dishonored, but it's still a good stealth game. And here is Titanfall. This was everyone's favorite game, I think, in 2014, I would say. Everyone played this game. I didn't. I played it much later, and I did play this and complete it, maybe not when the lobbies were full. But this was, you know, an online-only game. It was an okay game, though. Like, it was fine. It's didn't have any problems with this game, but maybe not as active of a fan base when I was playing it. But a game that was very good, though, was Titanfall 2, because this had an actual campaign, and not as much emphasis on the multiplayer in this one. So I highly recommend playing through this one. I just finished it, like, maybe a month ago. So, really good game. If you like that whole kind of Armored Core, Transformers meets Call of Duty, then you will like that game. And speaking of Transformers, here's Transformers Devastation. This one also released on 360. It's one of those later 360, early Xbox One titles. And I haven't played this one, though, but I'm a big fan of the Cybertron games on the 360. So I think this one is slightly different. It's a little bit more cartoony. And here's one of the funnier ones. This is Troll and I. So our son, he tested this out for me. He said this is one of the worst games he's ever played. But the interesting thing, though, like this game got delisted. So this is the only way you can get it. Like you can't buy this digitally anymore. So you would have to buy a physical. And I don't think it's expensive, but something to keep in mind if you wanted to have it in your collection. But according to him, worst game ever.
Might make it even more enticing
Yes,
for people.
it might become a hidden gem someday, but it's just this publisher here, they make a lot of really weird games. Okay.
Undertale, another family favorite. This is one that our son played first. He absolutely loved this game, to which then I played this game, and you even played this game.
I did play, yeah, once it got the Xbox, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's not your style, but even you.
Oh, I loved it. The music, I mean, if you've been following us along, we use a lot of Toby Fox music in our videos, and our previous intro was from Deltarune, but but yeah, obviously it's we are fans of the music and everything.
Yeah, fans of the characters, the music. We have several collectibles for this game, and we cannot wait for Deltarune. It'll be great when that one finally gets fully released.
Yep, and as you can see here too, this was a later Xbox One physical release. However, it did come out like I would say 2015 or earlier, so it was in the Xbox One era.
Yeah, and Fangamer brought the physical out to us.
Yep. And the next game is I would consider some of the best indie games of this generation as well as Unravel and Unravel 2. And the first Unravel was remarkable. And then we played Unravel 2. We both played the first one. And then we played Unravel 2 in co-op. And great game.
Yep.
However, achievements are kind of a nightmare in this one.
Achievements are a nightmare, but also I think the story in Unravel 2 is just weird, okay?
Yeah, it is very aggressive. I don't quite know what's going on in
Like
that
the
one.
first Unravel's this super whimsical, like beautiful setting, families getting together, and then we have in the second one kids like getting chased by people, and it's just bizarre.
It's strange. Yeah, so I would still say the first Unravel is better, although the second one had co-op. But it might be one of those instances where I'm like, I kind of wish they made the co-op optional in a sense, because it is local co-op, which makes it even harder in a sense where if someone did want to complete this game, then you have to like force someone to play this, or if you're lucky like us that we both play games, but I mean they're good games still. But I would still say the first one is better.
Yeah, no, I love the game, and but I like the first one better.
Yep, and then this is a PAL release, so I had to order this one online. We never got this one, but I was like, we love these games, so we wanted to have the physical for them. I think it's all on disc as well. Which is like, I think most of these are on disc anyway. I know that there's a lot of debate surrounding that on Xbox One and PS4 and stuff like that. And here we have Vampire. This is a Don't Nod game, so the people behind Life is Strange. I played a little bit of this one, and I have enjoyed what I played. It's kind of like a vampire RPG. So it seems interesting and pretty unique, I would say. So I will definitely want to check this one out soon. And the next few here I'll go through pretty quickly because everyone should be pretty familiar, I think, with the next series here. And they also, most of them came out on the 360, but obviously some of them only on Xbox One. This is The Walking Dead, the first one. Oh, it has the DLC as well. Here's Walking Dead Season 2. And then Walking Dead Collection. So that had basically what we just saw, plus Walking Dead Michonne. And then Walking Dead A New Frontier. This was a little bit different. I like this one. Didn't have the same characters here. A different story. And here you have Walking Dead The Final Season. That has Clementine as the main character. This was kind of a rush job because Telltale was basically closing. And if you don't know that story, you should definitely check out a documentary on YouTube. And here's Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive. So this has all 4 seasons, the DLC, Walking Dead Michonne, and exclusive bonus stuff. So they had to re-release this 10 times over because Skybound started publishing these games as well. Okay. Oh, here.
Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. I started playing Dynasty Warriors back on the PS2 and also Warriors Orochi. And so I thought that I missed several different iterations of the Dynasty Warriors and the Warriors Orochi. However, for some reason, when I saw this one on Xbox, I remember, I think it was maybe like a Games with Gold again. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? I used to love these games. I'm going to try this one. We're going to see how it is. Really, they haven't changed at all. I mean, they're just like changed the graphics, add a couple more characters. Otherwise, the games are pretty much the same. And so this is one of those ones that I also just kind of go back to and just like, tackle the achievements here and there, but I'm still working on it. It has a lot of achievements to get through. So, yeah. But these are fun hack and slash games, just like you're trying to, hundreds of enemies and just hacking away.
And we're still needing to get the 4th one.
Yeah.
I think that also came out on Xbox One. And the next game is Watch Dogs. And this also had a release on the 360. I did like Watch Dogs. Obviously, it was very overhyped, I would say. It was still a decent game, though, but yeah, I've played it a couple times. I played the 360 version as well, but it probably could have been better, I would say. But it's not a bad game, though. Watch Dogs 2. This I haven't played yet, but our son loves this one for some reason.
Yeah, he loved this game.
Loves the hacking aspect of it. And the funny thing is, we went to San Francisco one time, and it was after he had played this game, and then he recognized things from the game and locations, and
he knew the landmarks, he knew the names of them, he recognized it, and so it was really cool for him to see that in real life. So yeah. And I mean, yeah, he absolutely loved these games. Also, remember, I like how, or he liked it, how random would join his game and just to interact with them and stuff. So, yeah. Cool
so
game.
It's a little bit safer than Grand Theft Auto, I would say, because he wanted to play Grand Theft Auto. It's like it's just too young for it. So Watch Dogs 2 was a good alternative, I feel. So if we were to give Ubisoft any credit, it's the... Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs at least gives you real landmarks to look at and reference. This is We Happy Few. Again, probably the longest game in production after a Kickstarter campaign. And it did show in the end that this was very much affected by the Kickstarter campaign, because the campaign is very repetitive. But once they got purchased or acquired by Microsoft, I should say Compulsion Games, which are coming out with a new game now finally, the DLC is really good. The DLC is like amazing in this game. It's so good. And I can't believe the main game wasn't as good as that. This would have been a classic. This would have been absolute, I wouldn't say hidden gem, but could have been so good. I did play through it. I completed it. It's a very tough completion because there's a lot of missable stuff. But it's an interesting game. I still think, there's a lot of drugs and a lot of weird stuff going on in this game, but I would still recommend playing it, though, So it's a weird experience.
I watched you play that one. It was a super interesting game. So I totally agree.
Yeah, it could have been better, and it's such a shame. But maybe we'll see We Happy Few 2 someday. And, of course, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I did pre-order this game, and I'm still working on it. I really like The Witcher 2. Everyone's game of this generation, I think. And I agree to some extent. I do think this one is a very good game. But I've yet to go back to it and complete it all the way, and still got to play the DLC. And here's one of my favorite games from this generation, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Great reboot, one of the best in recent times. I really, really like this game, and as we see now, Machine Games is in full swing. They just released Indiana Jones, so clearly they know what they're doing. Great game. I love Wolfenstein in general, same as Doom, and that was a fantastic reboot. And here's Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. This was supposed to be a DLC to New Order, but then they kind of expanded on it, made it into a bigger game. It's still between like 15 to 20 hours maybe. And they emphasize a lot more on stealth in this one. So, but should miss this one. A really good game as well. And then we had Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. Also another great game. Much more difficult, I would say, than the previous two. I'm still working my way through all the achievements in this one, but this notoriously has one of the hardest achievements on Xbox, and I'm sure obviously on PlayStation as well as a trophy. So you have to go through the entire game without dying. And then the last game in the Wolfenstein, what is this, an anthology?
Yeah.
Is Wolfenstein Youngblood. And you helped me a little bit with this one, and we were considering playing this in co-op. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, his daughters, and you did not like this one.
No, I was not a big fan of this co-op experience for some reason. This game was just not for me.
They're a little bit annoying. That's what I've heard, at least. I haven't played this either.
Yeah, the dialogue was just trying too hard. I don't know.
It's like two teenage girls, and I don't even know. It's it seemed like a very strange game to release after the other three that were so good, and then they made this one. But I can't speak on behalf of it because I haven't played it, or I can't trash it either because that would be unfair. But I'm sure I will let you know when I played it. Here's World War Z. This one we also tried, but we didn't grab us at all.
No.
Like we were trying to play this in co-op, kind of similar to a Left 4 Dead kind of thing. But we never played this, but I got the physical for it anyway, though. But I think people in general like this one, though. I feel like they're always trying to make like the next Left 4 Dead, and then no one succeeds. But
Yeah.
here's XCOM 2. I played a little bit of XCOM on 360, but it's not the type of game that I typically play. But it's like that turn-based strategy. People love these games, though. So there was a XCOM 2 on Xbox One, which I barely even knew. So if you didn't know, there's a physical for it. So, and if you like those games, then you probably know. And here,
Yoku's Island Express.
this is the true hidden gem on Xbox One, for sure.
I totally agree. Yeah, this is one that we both played. You played it first, right? You told me you should play this game.
I'm trying to think now. Like, I think it may have been on Game Pass at some point. I think I played it, and then we got the physical, and then it left Game Pass, and then we had to open this one, obviously, because you wanted to play it as well.
I wanted to play it too,
Yeah, no, this is fun. It's a pinball platformer, which is unique in itself, but it's also Metroidvania, and you play as this little bug, right?
Yeah, you're like a little dung beetle,
Yeah.
and he's pushing his
fun-
little pinball around.
It's like it's a more light-hearted Ori, I would say, right? Like it has that same feel to it, like it's a Metroidvania, like I said. But this one shouldn't be missed. This one is one of our favorite indie games for sure, alongside some of the ones we've already mentioned. This one is really fun.
Yep,
Great
and
game.
It's not that expensive, physical or digital, and it often goes on sale. So.
Yes, I don't know the physical where it ranks now in price, but
That's a good. Yeah, I don't know either,
Yeah.
but it used to not be too expensive.
yeah, I guess so. Haven't really seen it too much. Same as this one, like Ukulele, supposed to be kind of a Banjo-Kazooie spin-off in a sense, or it's made by a lot of the same people that worked on that at Rare. And haven't played this yet, though, but it's, like I said, it's supposed to be very similar to that game. But we'll see. And we're coming up on the last few here. And like you mentioned earlier, Zombie Army Trilogy. And this was the second game we played in co-op, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I don't know how I talked you into this one, but you did end up liking it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it more than I thought I would. I think you just needed some help with some stuff, and I wasn't into achievements yet, so you thought, hey, can I get your help with some things in this game? But then I really ended up loving this game, and then this is when I really started going for achievements, and when I finally started, this might have been my first completed game, like my
I think it may have been. That's you completed this one with me, and then you went back, hey, can you help me with Overcooked?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But we do have gameplay for this one too on our channel, so if you wanted to check that out, then it's I mean, I feel like it was a pretty funny video we made, but it's not related to game collecting. But if you're interested in seeing how we play games together, that's a great one to watch. But a fun game, though. Obviously, it's essentially a zombified version of Sniper Elite V2 that came out on the 360. And then we had Zombie Army 4 Dead War, which we pre-ordered, got the steelbooks, got the special edition, collector's edition, and this one also lived up to the expectations.
It totally did.
This was very different, more of a arcade style game. But we'd like this one too, right?
Yeah, I think that also they kind of like dialed in the controls a little bit better on this one. So yeah, I thought this one was really fun, and we enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yep. Great games to play in co-op, and like I said, more arcade style, so with points, and you always have the skill shots kind of thing. Okay, and last game is Zoo Tycoon, another exclusive, and I think this is the same developer as your Jurassic World game.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Evolution.
Frontier. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is Frontier.
Okay,
so this was an exclusive, but it came out on 360, so this was more of a port. They did have a Ultimate something edition released as well on Xbox One with a different, more stuff added to it and a separate achievement list, I think, too. I don't know if they had a physical for that one, but this one is like, if you like shoveling poop around and all that stuff, then if you ever wanted to work at a zoo, this is a perfect game for you. But I mean,
really selling it there.
Yes. But they're pretty fun, though. I have played a little bit of this, and then they're pretty fun.
I like the management style games, so I get it.
That was our entire Xbox One collection. Hope you guys enjoyed and didn't take naps in between the battles here. I know this is probably going to be one of our longer videos. We wanted to tell a story for most of the games that we played and everything. So if you want to see more game collecting videos, Stone, game shelves, we have a ton. We'll put them up on the screen. But in the meantime, though, if you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that, and it helps reach a bigger audience. And if you like watching our game collecting videos, our game shelves, please subscribe as well. And otherwise, from Scarola and I,
Thank you for watching, and bye!